everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this barre foundational series. So a few things that you should know about this barre series is that this series was designed for people who have never tried barre before and would like to get a little bit of confidence before maybe trying a real person class. You can stack them together to make a full length video, or you can do it as many times as you would. So a few things that you should know the way that I teach barre is that although barre is traditionally heavily ballet focused, the way that I teach barre combines yoga, Pilates and functional compound fitness. So what that means is that we will move with grace in yoga, mindfully, connecting movement with breath, almost, I guess, similar to Pilates, but it's the precision of movement that we kind of focus on in that Pilates element. And then the compound movement and functional fitness, movements that helps you with everyday life. So a big thing about barre is that it is musically driven. So whatever song that you have in the class, the choreography, the sequencing will match the beats in that song. However, for the copyright purposes, you may not hear the music, but that is something that we will work towards. So maybe play something on in the background for yourself, and then we can do the video together. But otherwise, it's still just as fun. I'll still cue you the way that I would cue in a barre class, apart from there will be no music. So you don't need anything for this series. All you need is your beautiful selves and maybe a mat, something comfortable to wear, and I will meet you right here whenever you are. Through the inner palms, knees underneath the hips, engaging into the belly and into the last 3 ribs. So you draw the belly button in towards the spine and then send it down. The last 3 ribs in together, in towards the spine and send it down. So that will help to brace your core. Now, this is your strong tabletop, squeezing the 2 forearms together. The gaze is slightly out in front of you. And shortly we will move it into a plank. So just bear in mind whether you want to keep the knees down behind your hips or lift your knees off the ground. Find your breath as we tuck the toes under. Hollow out the belly now, push the ground away from you, draw the right knee in towards the nose, tap it down. Left knee draws in, tap it down. Right knee, draw it in. See if you can round your nose in towards the knee. Yes. Keep it strong, hollow, engage the belly. We're going to move swiftly into that plank pose. Right leg will lift in 4, 3, 2, 1. We bring right knee to the right arm and shoot it back. Right knee, shoot it back. Right knee, right arm, shoot it back. Yes. Feel the side waist switch on. Keep the right leg long, sweep it to the left, behind. So you can always drop that left knee down. 4, 3, try not to swing into the hips. 2, 1, come into your plank. So I'll keep the knees down with shoulder tap. Left hand to the right shoulder, drop it down. Right hand, left shoulder, drop it down. So as you do this, try not to wibble wobble into the hips as we find the stability in the core. So remember, the knees are behind your hips, so you're taking it into your modified variation. Taking it into a plank pose, the left leg will lift in 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg, left arm, shoot it back. Crunch, shoot it back. Maybe drop the knee down. Up to you. Maybe shift the gaze to the knee. Try not to swing into the hips. Sweep it to the right. Sweep. Engage into the inner thighs. Yes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the plank. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Position. So when you're ready, let's start in a tabletop. Hands about shoulder width or maybe a little bit wider. Index finger faces forwards. You can always walk the hands forwards off the wrist if you've got any wrist issues. Engaging into the belly and into the ribs. Keeping the hips on the same plane, let's extend your right leg back. Flex into that right foot so the toes will be towards the floor. Let's lower and lift your right leg. So what we're not looking for here is an arch in the lower back, which is very common for a lot of people who want to try and hike this right leg up. Remember that core is switched on. Hips will remain on the same plane, so think about sending your right little toe towards the ground. Hopefully you'll feel this in the hamstring, in the back of the glutes. Lower and left. Keep leaning into that right hand. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, long neck. 3, we pulse in 2. 1, keep it lifted, pulse, 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 pulse. Engage and keep that brace in your core. Keep leaning into that right hand. Find your breath, nice and smooth. Tiny pulses, tiny pulses, tiny pulses. We're going to bend into our right knee, tap knee, and then kick it to the ceiling for a donkey kick. We go in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap knee to knee, kick the ceiling. Tap knee to knee, kick the ceiling. So here, remember, there's no lower back pain. No, well, there shouldn't be anyway, but lower back bend. Engage into the core. We pulse in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick the ceiling. Tiny pulses, tiny pulses. Remember, again, we're not hiking the hips and we're not leaning too far over towards the left. Equal everywhere. Find your breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we tap knee to knee and then we fire hydrant. 3, 2, 1. So we tap knee to knee, kick to the side for 3, 2, 1. Tap knee to knee, pulse 3, 2, 1. Tap knee to knee. So in this position, it's very common, again, to lean over too far over towards the left in order to hike this right leg up. So again, keep leaning into that right hand. Tap knee to knee. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Tap. Last one for 3, 2, 1. Tap. Switch it to the other side. So again, keep that engagement of the core. The left leg will extend. Hollow out the belly. Keep the hips on the same plane. Roll your left little toe towards the ground. Lift and then lower. So this is absolutely great for everyone. It's just such a great exercise to help with stabilization in the hips, especially if you sit down a lot. And the hamstring, obviously, we are working here. So if you do a lot of forward folding in your yoga and you don't like to get too sweaty and don't like lifting weights too much, then this is just great. Let's pulse in 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted, tiny pulses. Tiny pulses. Engage into the core. Tiny pulses. Keep leaning to the left. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We tap knee to knee in 3, 2, 1. Tap knee to knee, kick the ceiling. Tap the knee, kick. Are you still breathing? I hope you are. We pulse in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted, tiny pulse. Pulse. Kick the ceiling, belly draws in, ribs are drawn in, and you should be leaning so far over towards the left that you can just lift and wave that right hand, right? And if at any time you get a bit tired in the wrist, maybe walk the hands forward or land it onto the forearms, in which case lift the leg up a little bit higher. We're coming into those fire hydrant in 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap knee to knee fire hydrant for 3, 2, 1. Tap 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 3, 2. Nice and strong. 1. Tap 3, 2, 1. Tap final 3, 2, 1. Tap. We will bring the forearms together. Yeah. Engaging into the core. Find a nice neutral place with the spine. Squeezing the forearms into together. When ready, relax the shoulders down. We lift up and then towards the chest. Lift as high as you can and then drop it down. So when you lift it high, try not to bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Yeah, keep pressing the forearms together. The more you press into the forearms, the more you feel it into the chest. Focusing on the chest and the shoulders. Yes. Core is still switched on. We're pulling the crown of the head towards the ceiling and we are having fun. Yes. We pulse and squeeze into the forearms in 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze into the forearms. It's a squeeze and nothing is happening apart from squeezing, and you are very welcome. Yes, squeeze, engage into the belly, the ribs, and into the chest. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that tight grip of the forearms. Tiny pokes up towards the ceiling. Tiny pokes, tiny pokes. Feel it in the shoulders. Just a tiny movement. Remember, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Breathe. This is where the breath matters. If you're finding it hard, find that nice soft inhale through the nose. Big sigh out, exhale. Let's go. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to lift and then drop. Lift, woo, drop, lift, drop. Let's go. 4, 3, 2. We separate the arms. Let's go. So stretch the arms to the side walls. Back of the palm faces towards the front. Palm faces back. Soft bend into the knees. Relax the shoulders. Nice and slow. Like you're swimming in through water. Create the resistance. Stop at shoulder length. And then bring it forward. Yes. Working into the rotator cuff. I feel this in the deltoids. So it goes 4, 3, 2, 1. So when you feel like you want to speed it up, it's probably where you need to slow it down. So the pattern here is 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the last one, 4, 3, 2, hold here, tiny press back, tiny press back. See if you can get that thumb to really point towards the floor. Back of the palms behind you. Yes. Soften into the breath. Relax the shoulders. Dance to the tune if you've got music in the background. We go for 8, 7, 6. Try not to swing into the torso. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palm faces up and then back. Yeah, so we go for a tiny carving scoop. Let's round it out nice and strong. And you are done. Quickly coming into a forearm plank with it, that's your tabletop. Knees behind your hips or lift your knees off the ground. It is completely up to you. Remember, the core is switched on. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then push the ground away. It's a squeeze and pinch the shoulder blades together and then really press the ground away from you. So you squeeze and spread the shoulder blades. So the only thing that moves is the chest up and down. Yeah. Let's pick up the pace a little bit faster. We're going to shift it to a right forearm side plank, whether that's both knees on the ground, stack or stagger. We go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Tiny hip lifts. Yes. So whether there's the knees stacked on top of each other, we're not here for long. Top leg long. It can be quite like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So it's good to do this a few times. We'll come back into a forearm plank in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, hollow out the belly and engage. Hands together or separate, it's up to you. Squeeze the shoulder blades and then press away. Squeeze and then press. So we're gonna do the same thing onto the other side. Match it with what you did with the right. You should feel it in between the shoulder blades. A place where we kind of quite commonly don't train as much. Shall we pick up the pace in 4, 3, 2, 1, faster. Squeeze, protract, squeeze, spread, squeeze, spread, squeeze, spread. We come onto the left forearm in 4, 3, 2, 1, hip taps. Yes. Shoulder on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. And again, coming back into the obliques. Come into your plank pose, hands onto the ground. Wrap the elbows in towards the wrists. You're coming for a tricep push-up. Squeeze the elbows in and then lift. Lower and lift. So you don't need to lower all the way down if you can't maintain it. That's not what we're looking for. Even if it's just like half an inch. Control. We're not pulsing here though. So go as low as you can control. Elbows in. We're going to come back into our forearm plank in 4, 3, 2, 1. Rock forwards and back. So I'll show you with the knees off the ground. Hollow out the belly. Shift. Imagine touching the nose towards your thumbs and then shift it back. You got this, nice and strong. Keep the form. Don't cheat yourself. If you need to, drop the knees down. Done. External rotation, which is toes turned out like a V, spreading into 10 toes. Heels are connected as best as you can. Some people may find this a little bit too hard, depending on where the anatomy of your hips are. That's completely fine, but just do your best. And again, the core is switched on. Try not to hinge forwards. Shoulders on top of the hip. I'll join you in grabbing my service, and we'll meet in that external rotation. So engaging into the core, spreading into 10 toes, we go 4, down, 3, 2, 1, we lift 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, keep to this pattern. So remember, when you start to fatigue, you are going to cheat yourself with the momentum of trying to hike yourself back up. So we're going as slowly controlled down as we are going up. And you'll feel this in the tops of the thighs. Hold it halfway, so tiny pulse. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And hopefully you'll join me in feeling this in the tops of your thighs, which is what we are working on. Heels are really glued together if you've managed to touch them, and that will help connect and work into the inner thighs. And remember, the core is switched on. Go a little bit lower if you can without rolling yourself in. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay low. Go down for 2 and then up for 2. I am feeling this. Down for 2 and then up for 2. Down for 2, up for 2. Let's go up singles and then down. Up, pause, down, pause. Up, pause, down, pause. Up, down, up, down. Keep that external rotation really important. Hold it halfway. Here's your pulse, 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 pulse. Yes, pulse. Keep shoulders on top of the hips. Try not to round in. Everything is engaged. And this is again, where you feel it and you feel that burn is where it matters. So keep on going, keep finding your breath. We're gonna move on in 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay low. It's go down, thigh tap back, and then up, thigh tap back, down, up. Try not to wiggle wobble too much into the knees. The movement is coming from the outer glutes. You can try and challenge your balance. And you are done. Way down. Heels onto the ground, draw the belly button in towards the spine and see if you can really flatten into the lower back to work into the core. Hands behind the head, lift your head, lift the chest, really engage. Imagine that hip point crunch to that last rib. You're gonna keep your sitting bones grounded, or shall I say your tailbone grounded. You're gonna rotate your left shoulder towards the right. You're gonna lift it up towards center, and you're gonna twist towards the left and then hover back behind you. So you twist. We're making a circle. Yes, we are. Try and make it nice and smooth, not lopsided. Yeah, keep engaging into the belly. Can you make it a little bit smaller? Maybe lift it a little bit higher. Don't cut corners. Let's reverse the circle. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Keep your chest lifted towards center. Can you scoop the belly and the ribs in a little bit more? Can you lift a little bit higher? Tiny pulses, round it to the very end, round it to the very end. Let's go, let's go. Up and down, up and down. So try not to yank into the head. There's a slight, lifted chin here. So it's not directly towards the ceiling, maybe at a slight angle, maybe the gaze towards the knees. Keep scooping the belly and the ribs in. Find your breath. Let's rally it out. Let's go for 8, 7, make it smaller, lift it higher. 6, 5, 4, breathe. 3, 2, 1, done. A squat. So feet about hip width distance apart, 10 toes point forward. Now, as we come for a squat, is a hinge of the hips. So let's place your finger, your index finger, on top of the hip crease, thumbs behind you, and then pull your hips back. So you imagine that you've got a string or a rope here, and someone's pulling you, pause here. So go to sort of halfway, as much as you can feel comfortable. It should feel good in the knees. Keep pulling and spreading the sit-in bones back behind you. Now, as you do that, you'll notice that the chest will counterbalance by leaning forward. Perfect. Nice proud chest. You'll feel the back switch on. Neutral spine here, so not too much of a back bend and not too rounded in. Find your medium happy place. Belly and the ribs are switched on. Hands can go on top of the hips, hands together. If you really want to spice it up, and this is like your second or third time trying this, you can reach the arms forward and keep it there at all times. I'm going to keep my hands on top of the hips and keep sinking the sit-in bones back behind you. Nice and light in the tippy toes, pulling the crown of the head forwards. Take a full breath in, nice long exhale, tiny pulses. Go down a little bit lower if you can and find your pulses there. So as you find your pulses, it's a tiny micro up and down, up and down, up and down, about an inch. It's not moving forwards. The legs and the knees aren't swinging forwards. Literally all we're doing is bobbing up and down. It's probably the best way to describe it, right? So imagine touching your chair and then lift it off. Tiny lift, tiny touch, tiny lift, tiny touch, tiny lift. Nice breath here. Engage into the belly and into the ribs. We heel jog right and left. Spread into the toes. We go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Right, left, right, left, right, left. So again, it's moving up and down. See how the knees still remain on top of the toes, not going past, because we're not shifting forwards and backwards. It's an up, down movement. Get a little bit lower in your squat if you can. We're going to come back into our pulsing squat. And I know you've got everything in you to come back to that. Here we go. Drop the heels down, tiny pulse, up and down, up and down. See how the belly and the core switches on. You might feel this in the back. If you feel this in the back, maybe take a lift up, just a little bit, and then come back down. If at any point you need to have a break, have that break. Be kind to yourself and then rejoin. Not the end of the world. We're going to come back to your heel jogs. We'll go left and right, spreading into the toes. Lift your heel as high as you can. Not yet. Tiny pulse, tiny pulse. Here's your heel jog. We go in 4, 3, let's go in 2, 1, let's go. Left, right, left, right, left, right, like a, I don't know, galloping. Yeah. You might hear my breath starting to speed up. Low impact cardio. This is what it feels like. But it's powerful, right? Because it's nothing apart from your body. We're going to come back into your pulsing squats, but this time round, yeah, let's go back to your pulsing squats. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, drop the heels down, tiny pulse, pulse, pulse. We're going to lift both heels up this time, or you can come back to the heel jogs. We go in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish it strong. Lift, down, lift, down, lift, down. And I'm just swinging my arms just because, you know. Yowie! And it's one of those feelings, it's like, where's this song ever going to end? And I promise you, you are coming to a tabletop position. We're taking it through your cat-cow. So as you inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through. Should feel good. Take a pause here, maybe wiggle the hips side to side, shimmy the head side to side. Imagine dragging the hands towards the knees into the hands, and you feel a little bit more of a tug between the chest. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then round it in, push the ground away from you, cat pose, and then we'll flow through the 2. You can have the toes tucked or untucked, and just really allowing our bellies to stretch, and then allowing our back to stretch as well. Make this your last one. And we're going to drop the hips down, take it into either a sphinx, forearms onto the ground, shoulders on top of the elbows, index finger facing forwards, hands roughly about shoulder width or maybe wider, pulling the chest forwards, relaxing the shoulders, really point through 10 toes. If this feels good, it doesn't feel that much, you can keep engaging into the glutes, press the pubic bone down and forwards. Extend the arms, take it into a high cobra. You can walk the hands back, relax the shoulders down the spine. So there shouldn't be any lower back pain here. So just be mindful of where you are in this class. You might not feel warm enough to come into this deep back bend, which is 100% okay. Yes, so you can always just keep onto the forearms. Take one more big inhale here. 4 complete exhale. Rolling onto your right side, bend into your bottom leg. Let's just catch hold of this top ankle or the foot and just come for a gentle quad stretch here. Slowly release, shift the gaze forward, or just step your foot forward, lift it up, and then come into a pigeon. And then scoot your leg back. Okay. Sitting nice and tall. Again, if it feels good, you need a little bit more into your hips today, you can take it into your full pigeon pose by just coming down to the forearm or coming all the way down onto the head. You can add a bit of a gentle movement side to side here. You should feel it in the outer hip and it should feel good. No pain. So we're going to lean a lot into the outer left hip and then swing this right leg forwards. Keeping this left foot tucked in. Turn the head towards that right big toe. Nice tall spine. Take a full breath in. Exhale to fold. And then forget about whether you touch your foot or not. That's irrelevant. We're finding that hamstring stretch. So see if you can find it. Coming all the way up. And then let's reverse it. So the right shin will go down and we'll swing this left leg around, coming into a pigeon pose. Stay nice and tall, or again, if it feels good, you can begin to fold forwards. Keep finding your breath. We'll hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lean into this right hip. Swing this left leg forwards. Take a full breath in. Exhale to fold. Soften into the breath. And just enjoying the stretching in the muscles. There shouldn't be any twinging, no forcing. Just again, being mindful The breath is still smooth. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back into our tabletop. And then drop the hips down, come back into your back bend. So maybe this time around you're feeling a little bit warmer, in which case you can pull the chest through in the high cobra, or you can stay in your sphinx. Again, should feel good. Squeezing and engaging into your back body. Find your breath, stretch into the belly. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down, rolling onto the left and grab hold of your top ankle or the foot, coming for that quad stretch. Super gentle here. Slowly release. Let's come back to face forwards, tuck the toes under, lift your hips back, come into a downward dog. And keep that movement going in your downward dog. So whether it's pedaling it out, you can pivot the toes to one side, really find that stretch along one side, linger. And then taking it to the other side, if that feels good. Bending or straightening into the legs. And dropping the knees down, come back into your tabletop. You'll reach your left arm up, and then exhale, spread it all the way underneath your right armpit, forehead or the cheek can turn onto the ground. Try not to twist too much into your hips. I like to place my hands onto my lower back just so I can see roughly, or feel, should I say, where my hips are in space. Lowering the right hand down. Let's open up into a modified side plank facing the left side. Reach your left arm up and over. Find a nice size stretch in your modified side plank. Take a full breath in. Maybe turn the hips and the chest to the ceiling for a gentle back bend. And then reset. Right arm reaches up. Exhale, spread it all the way through. Keep pulling your right hip to the right. Oh, I just felt a click. Beautiful. Pressing that left hand, lift all the way up. Come into a modified side plank, face your right side of the mat. Reach your top arm over the head, nice side body stretch. Dropping the head, drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Maybe turn towards the ceiling, gentle back bend. And then release, swing the legs forward. Come for a half-seated twist, so the left shin is down. Cross your right foot over. Right foot or the right big toe is super grounded. Sitting bones are grounded. If it feels like you're lifting, you can go for a wider base. Yeah. Right fingertips behind you. As you inhale, left arm reaches high. And then as you exhale, either grab hold of your leg and then create the twist, or hook the left elbow to the outside of that leg, and then we'll find a deeper twist. So take a deep inhale, find your length. Exhale to fold. Come back to center and then switch out. And inhale to find your length. Exhale to twist. And then come back to center. Thank you so much for joining me on our final day of this BARRE foundational series. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you realize that you have everything that you need to try out BARRE and make yourself feel alive again. Click and subscribe onto the Pretty Sweaty Stuff YouTube channel, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Thank you so much.